Right there, yeah.
Loud.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah. Let me hear you, Mike. Check 1, 2.
Hi.
All right.
Did you say let me hear your mic or let me hear you, Mike?
Oh, my God. Now he's confusing me. Oh, man. Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm so glad that you're here. First off, Rich.
Wait, are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, we're good.
This is sick.
That's how we roll, baby. There's no, we don't fool. I mean, I can give you the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 if you want.
No, I'm good, man. Let's rock.
But why do that? Why waste the time doing that? Let's just, we're live.
Sure. Why wouldn't we be?
First off, Rich, thank you and the Cornerstone restaurant for being our newest presenting sponsor. My God, it's so awesome to have you.
Thank you.
We're just, Raylene and I are thrilled. And once we caught word that you guys were go with us, we're just very excited. Very excited.
I just figured that I wouldn't be able to get up on this stage otherwise, so it was the only way.
Yeah.
Two
years, buddy. 2 years since you've been on social media. What the hell's going on with that? But first, introduce this handsome devil right now.
This is Mike Allen. He's not only my brother-in-law, but a very integral part to the Cornerstone success and been with us since literally day one. Is our current general manager and rock star. Current.
Okay.
Currently.
That's me.
Now, the general manager, is that multiple hats? Is he cooking? Is he cleaning?
He doesn't really do a whole lot, to be honest with you. He mostly, he's the face of the place, kind of, because while there was a time when his face was better looking than mine, and I think that he's kind of catching up. But
he'll get there.
So that's why I say currently.
Okay. You don't want... I'm actually an awesome cook, but it takes me at least twice as long to do it as it should.
Yeah.
And then,
it would be like coming into ordering a pot roast and having him like do it in the crock. You know what I mean? On low.
Low and slow.
Speaking of that roast, man, that was the pictures that you're dropping on your social media are just amazing.
We've been pretty lazy. I'm not going to lie.
Shout out iPhone 13s Pro.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Who's taking those shots? You, Mike?
We do.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're not hungry, you see these pictures and you're like, damn, I got to get over to the Cornerstone.
Yeah, in fairness, we could do a better job, and it's on our short list of things to do as we move into the spring and start making a few changes. And when I say changes, it doesn't always mean like new stuff. It means, getting back to doing things perfect and correctly and every time. And so, yeah.
I mean, obviously, I want to ask you guys about, what it's like owning, operating, cooking, being with the public in the restaurant industry during a pandemic. Oof.
Well, I think it's,
it's been a ride.
It's been one hell of a ride, and I feel like we're kind of getting towards the end of it, which is drawing a lot more enthusiasm from not only the public but from us, and we're starting to get excited again, kind of like we're opening a new restaurant, because it's been really incredibly hard to be optimistic and positive when you're looking at the numbers and you're looking at what's going on and trying to figure out how you're going to make this all work, and the livelihoods of your employees / I call them family for the most part. We've just got a really tremendous group of humans that have worked for us for a long time, and they continue to plug away, and we've tried to take care of them the best we can through COVID, and in return they've done the same for us. And it's been heartbreaking, some of the stuff that's happened, but who do you cry to? Everybody's going through the same shit. So it's like, what are you going to do? There's just not a lot of shoulders to cry on. So instead of going public and being negative, we just keep trying to chip away and finding ways to, make a couple bucks and get through things with all that's going on. And that's it. I mean, that's what we got to do. We're the Cornerstone, man. Yeah,
I know. Did you guys ever have conversations about, what do we do here? Because the fear factor was massive. Might there be a possibility that we could pull the plug on this? Was there any?
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, of course.
Wow.
Initially, Keith Paxman and I was my best friend and business partner, who we slung this idea together a couple years before we even opened in Barre, and took a shot here in town, and had a lot of help. And we ended up right at the first part of COVID. We sat down at a table and we went through the numbers, and we said, "There's no way this place is going to sustain. This business isn't going to sustain the two of us." So we had to have a very friendly breakup. There was a buyout, but it was insignificant considering the possibilities in the future. But so Keith left the business, and then I took over his responsibilities along with others, and with the help of Mike and a couple other key employees, we really just kind of got nimble and went back to the basics and downsized and tried to think swiftly and smartly. And there's just a lot of variables on top of a restaurant or a business that has so many variables to begin with.
Yeah.
No, it was scary. There was definitely some tears walking into empty places. I mean, we closed Cornerstone, when everyone was told to close, and we're handing out all of our perishable foods and frozen foods and cleaning our walk-ins for our employees, and they were coming in with bags. And I mean, it was an absolute, still it's on the way out, but a nightmare. Yeah. And but there was not much choice. You either lie down or get up, and it was time to go. And these guys rallied behind me, and here we are. I think we're going to make it to the other side. It's still scary, but here we are.
Yeah. Mike, the last time that I saw Rich, we had a cold snap, and the sprinkler system froze up and blew in the front entranceway, and there was 15 feet of ice frozen on Main Street, and the guy's pulling his hair out. His wife's about ready to give birth, and oh my God.
In all fairness, too, I went snowboarding for the first time in a year the day before and got real beat up. And I hit a pole.
Yeah.
And flew off the trail.
Wait, was it a pole or like a pole?
No,
It was like a pole?
A pole. And couldn't lift my right arm, couldn't turn my head to the left that morning. And then all of a sudden, the elevator in The Shining opens up in our walkway, and I turned white and just kind of walked away.
Yeah.
I have a version of the story.
Yes.
He went snowboarding, probably had too many cocktails.
No.
Did not fly off a trail, probably fell and
There's video of it.
Hit something. I'm sure there is. And then...
So maybe not even snowboarding, maybe just simply toppled over from a standing position.
No. Correct. Yeah, no, I don't think it was...
And happened to land on a pole.
I think the reason that he couldn't move his arm and neck is obviously because he's out of shape and hadn't gone in a year.
Well,
and mostly out of shape. And then cocktailed as well.
How dare you?
I'm just telling the facts because this is live and people don't want to hear lies.
It's the truth.
Like, I didn't come here to lie to you, JD. Like, but yeah, and then basically forgot to open the front door to allow heat into a place that wasn't heated, and bam, big problem.
Was in a fog. He was in a fog.
I mean, I'm actually getting worked up about it now because I was over it, JD. So thanks for that. You're really good at bringing out old shit.
Yeah,
old
no,
news.
that's good.
Thanks.
Oh God.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Using the shit. We're saying S now, I guess.
Yeah,
we're saying S.
We're into the S's now.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had water spilling out onto the sidewalk, but the community rallied. People showed up and helped you out, right?
Nobody really helped me.
No, it was really more just like some sweeping and mopping, and I mean, if you consider the fire department community, they came in and shut off the sprinkler systems. And hey, you know what?
You were open an hour later.
Yeah, well, that's what you have to do.
Not even.
I mean, he already made a mess that cost us X amount. We needed to make it up by selling hamburgers. I mean,
sure.
It's what we do, JD.
Yeah,
it's like it's every day there's something. Today it was a broken printer. Yesterday it was.
Was that Mike's fault?
A clock.
Probably.
Well, they're all Mike's fault, and that's why I brought him here, because accountability is important.
Yeah, it's true.
Listen,
it's true.
I don't have a single fault. That's the bottom line.
Being honest, are people starting to like click off of this? Is anybody even watching at this point?
No, there's a lot of people watching.
How many?
I was going to say,
Raylene will tell you how many.
We could ask Mike to step down.
Do we have a name for our listeners?
What do you mean?
I mean, are they like?
We should.
I think that now would be a good time to come up with them. Airheads.
Oh,
That's a good one.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike gets all the credit for that, not you,
All right.
Rich.
Airheads. That's awesome, dude.
You guys.
He hasn't come up with a single idea. Actually, it's not true. He did a mocktail cocktail list, like without booze in it.
Yeah.
So that was.
I see
in
that
2
on the
years,
menus.
Not one idea, and then he comes in here and he gives you guys a tagline. I just don't understand why he can't do that on the daily with us.
I know.
Listen.
Isn't that amazing?
So, I get creative sometimes, and I really have to harness it.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
You got to catch it. Well, you can. Yeah.
And my voice is hoarse because wrestling state championship last night. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm probably the biggest high school wrestling fan in, I don't know, the country, the world. And they had 5 state champions last night. Shout out Spalding. Mick Karen. Woo!
Yeah, Mick Karen, he's a good boy. Hard worker, that guy.
Yep.
Was Steve Rich there?
Great
Probably.
team.
Probably.
Yes.
Yes.
What else you got for us,
Everybody-
Jay?
I actually got to the pleasure of watching it with wrestling great Phil. Well, let's say wrestling good Phil Karen. Yeah.
What was he like in the 80-pound weight class?
No.
Colton Perkins?
Oh,
No, he's in the 280.
you should see that
weight
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Impressive.
How does it feel to be named to the top 50 most influential restaurant executives of 2021 by National Restaurant News?
I mean, being quite honest, is kind of a joke.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where they come up with that shit.
It's like Wikipedia. Like anybody can, you
yeah,
know, put their thoughts in
actually,
there. And
yeah,
it's-
I actually signed myself up for it.
Yeah.
I think it probably was a combination of we had some really good work done initially out of the gates with COVID. I was appointed by Phil Scott to a task force, and then I'm paraphrasing, and then went from that to being asked to create a team of restaurateurs in Vermont to basically write the verbiage that would be used to navigate through COVID, what the COVID rules would be, how we were going to survive, how we were going to all collectively as restaurants in Vermont make it. We didn't have the support of like a restaurant association at that time. One didn't exist in Vermont. Chamber of Commerce, and there's a bunch of people that were doing good work to try to help us. But so I was tasked to do that, and I took on some really good restaurateurs. Jed Davis from up at Farmhouse Restaurant Group in Burlington. Crystal Madeira from Kismet.
no free ads.
No free ads. Mark Fryer is another guy who was used to talking in front of government, and as well as Ed Villandre, owns Kingdom Tap Room. Great guy. Sue Betty, who ended up being the rock star of the whole show. She and as well as Keith Paxman, but Sue Betty ended up taking it to the next level. She owns losing my mind barbecue place and. Talk to me. You should know. Bluebird Barbecue. Jeez, I'm sorry.
Thank
Sue.
you, Mike, for being so razor sharp.
That's me.
Hopefully she's not listening. But if she is, incredible rock star who took it to the next level, and she created basically the Vermont Restaurant Coalition, which now has pretty much every restaurant in the state involved. And I mean, we had people I had people calling and crying the minute my name was in the newspaper. On the task force, like people were as scared and as sad as I've ever seen people. It's like I've got pretty tough skin, but I worked my whole life, really, really, really hard from a young age to get to the point that I'm at now, or at that time was. And it was like I was kind of seeing the future of winding down and, maybe even being able to retire someday.
Right.
And then that just like all went to hell. And but all we could do is take care of people the best we could, give sound advice to people that didn't have the knowledge that we had or the resources to understand what was going on and how to get through it.
What's this Restaurant Revitalization Fund?
Oh God, don't get me going on that. It was designed to basically take your loss of sales and make you pure. And the problem was they opened up the gates, and I don't have a problem with the fact that they had, women were first, military. That's all great, but the problem was that the pot wasn't big enough. And even though and we're hiring accountants, some of us, and if not, you're spending a tremendous amount of time putting this paperwork together to get this grant, which would essentially save you.
Yeah,
it makes that, like in our case, we lost $1.7 million in sales like that, and sales hide any issues
in 2 years.
Oh my God, in less than 2 years. So the Restaurant Revitalization Fund was designed to give you a grant that was used on specific things that would make you pure. It basically took your losses and brought you back to even, and then it's like, full steam ahead. Well, the problem was they opened it up and it was gone in a day. So now it's short fell, and they're trying to backload it, and everyone's fighting for it. Everyone that didn't get it, of course, the Restaurant Association. There's congressmen, and I mean, there's a lot of people that are in the corner of, and there's a slight chance, like this war happening doesn't help, and there's a bunch of things that don't help with that. But if we were to receive that, which we didn't, I mean, I'd be high-fiving right now, because it would just be like, COVID happened. It was really terrible. We lost a ton of business, but we have the opportunity to regain our legs here and go back at this hard. And now, like, for instance, our group, the 3 restaurants and catering, were supposed to get somewhere around $750,000. I mean, no restaurant in Vermont probably has that kind of capital in the bank to begin with.
Sure.
Most places are month to month, if not, we were fortunate enough to be, always pretty far ahead of that in case of emergency. But if this money was there, I mean, it would just like make all the inflation and raises and all the lack of business and stuff be not as big of a burden and a problem. So there's still a glimmer of hope. It's sad the way they did it. It was designed, in a bad way. Like, I personally know people that are in the restaurant business have had no business getting a dime just because of who they are or the way they run their business. And they got the whole deal, and we got literally not a cent. So
what does that tell you, though? I mean, it must tell you that if the shit hits the fan again, that you're probably going to be able to keep your head above the water.
If you had that, then certainly. I mean, you have to be a piss poor planner.
I'm saying for you guys, because
for us, if it hits the fan again and we have that, I mean, we made it.
Look at what you've done.
We made it through without it, basically,
Exactly.
and it was trying, and it was hard, and it was, again, I don't like complaining about it, because everyone's been through something. I'm sitting here complaining about money when people have lost loved ones, and there's just been so much crap, like, and it's been a tough time for everyone, and I think the only way to get over it is stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, would I like to see that drop in our checking account someday? Of course. And would I do good with it? Yeah, because we've made it through now, so it'd almost be like having a little extra money.
We see
Year-long vacation, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Does Mike get to go?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
He'll stay back. And
if it's a year, I would let him go for 2 or 3 days, like when we're closed.
We hear
probably
the words
on like a Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, back early on Tuesday.
We keep hearing the words COVID winding down. Some of the buzzwords that are in the media right now. If we continue on this trend, I mean, we're already talking about the Heritage Festival in Barre and so on and so forth. What changes can we expect at the Cornerstone if, best case scenario, things are really truly winding down in the coming months, into and through the summer?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like, we've kind of all looked at this as a Control-Alt-Delete. We've learned so much stuff. Like, I wouldn't be afraid if something came through again, other than financial. You can't make customers come in the door and support you when they don't want to come in and support you. So if you don't have the sales, you don't have the business. I mean, we went from a $3,000 a month gas bill, propane bill, just at Cornerstone, to the last couple months being $7,000 and $8,000 respectively. It's like, that's crazy. It's wild. So if you have this extra funding, then you have an opportunity to get out. But we're good, and we're not reinventing ourselves, because people like what we've done and who we are. It's just getting back to the basics. Getting back involved in the community hardcore. That was such a crap part of the whole thing, because we were philanthropists. Like, We gave so much away, and when that time came that we couldn't, that's why we picked up Everyone Eats meals and stuff, because we needed stuff to make us warm and fuzzy, because that's just as much of the battle as anything. I didn't come back to Barre, Vermont to open a restaurant in my hometown to not be a part of the giving that goes on and the success of everything from youth to sports to we like seeing our name up there.
Sure. What's going on with the ball field?
So the ball field was it was like a really fast, wanted to get it done situation at first, and then it ended up dragging its feet both with finances and permitting and stuff. And then once we got that in play, it was really, we got some work done, and we're like, okay, we're going to do next year. And then we did $30,000 or $40,000 of work to the field, and then the next spring was COVID. So now we've got a couple extra hands involved. I was doing most of it by myself with the generous help of obviously the same people I go to for, money and funds and help in this community all the time. But this year is going to happen. They've already got things scheduled there. A lot of stuff was done in the fall. Dave Fink, a good friend of mine that I played ball with in high school, he's now got a kid in the game.
That's wonderful.
And he's a really, really good dude and knows his stuff. So he's been on there working, and the shed's there, and the mound's fixed, and the fence is up, and
let's
right there.
Let's consult with our name making director, Mike Allen. Mike, what are we thinking here? A Cornerstone Field? What ideas are running through?
I'm more of a Cornerstone Park guy.
Okay.
There's lots of things to think about.
Sure.
Can we serve beer there? Maybe. No.
Yeah, I'm sure that would be pretty popular.
I guess not for
minor
kids.
league games. Yeah.
All right. But we need
It's
to
all
come
about
up.
booze with you. I swear to God.
Well, I'm a bartender.
Oh,
We need to come up with a name for this field.
it's Cornerstone Field.
Okay.
It's already been done.
Done.
It's
Good.
done. And the reason it was going to be Cornerstone Park crossed our mind, but there's already a park there, and the Rotary owns the thing above, and that's a park. So we just steer clear of the park idea.
Mike, are you involved with any of the other restaurants? And question for both of you, are any of the other restaurants for sale?
Well, Mike's, you can answer.
I'll take the first part of that. No.
Okay.
Just kidding.
That's actually not true.
No.
Mike is there when in the event that he needed to.
I like Mike.
We had one of my very good friends growing up down in the Plymouth area ended up moving up here to originally open Cornerstone Burger, and he did an awesome job, had a great following, and he since left with COVID, and he was a bit of a tough act to follow. And then after searching for months, we found a guy named Travis Manny, really good dude, very personable, former Marine. Not meathead though. Smart guy, knowledgeable, running hotels. Looking for a change of pace. Wanted to move his family back to Vermont. Had some. His brother lives in Northfield. He came up and met with Mike and I. We hit it off, and he's a really good guy. The answer to, obviously there's been a lot of rumors about. I'm opening places all over, in case you haven't heard. Yeah. I bought Soups and Greens. I need more places in town. Like, people were saying I bought Soups and Greens, and it's like, because we couldn't just do breakfast at the Cornerstone if I had time to do breakfast. Yeah. Anyway.
I heard that you just bought the Wheelock building, too.
I don't even know where that is.
Where?
So yes. Yes, I did.
Awesome.
Do you want to know what I paid for it?
That was me trying to get shot by Raylene by the Nerf gun.
So... Yeah, I've had some offers during COVID for Cornerstone Burger Company. It's not for sale. It's never been on the market or anything like that. And my reasoning behind even considering that at some point is twofold. It's one, we need to bail ourselves out of some, a little bit out of the hole that we're in, and focusing, on what's here in Barre. And if I can spend all my time working on Two Loco, Cornerstone, and the catering end of it.
Right.
I can be on property in Barre every day. I'm moving to Barre literally tomorrow. And that's just, I'd rather tighten the ship here, do everything awesome, be really involved in the community. Northfield, the hope was to do the same thing in Northfield that I did in Barre. That was hit the streets, get involved in the community, start giving, make the place awesome. But I never had the time to invest that kind of passion into Northfield. And it's always kind of bummed me out. You know, I'm not there.
Yeah.
Very rarely there unless it's during the day or if there's an emergency or something breaks with the building.
Right.
We own the building out there, so you know there is some equity there. And for me, if I was to do it, it'd be to the right person, somebody that really has a passion for Northfield, and wants to make things better. I wouldn't leave it in the hands of something that I didn't personally think would be successful.
Of course.
I'd rather keep it and rent it and go through the motions. The problem is with the school, with Norwich being down, you know, with even all their events were half and masked and kids couldn't go and leave college, and that was really tricky because, you know, they're 40% of the business there.
Right.
So you've got COVID, then you lose 40% of your business.
Yeah.
And then you've got, you know, people being, you know, weird and, you know, a certain amount of people trying to support it. It takes a lot.
Of course it does.
We don't run our kitchens with, you know, 2 people in there thinking we're going to be slow. We're, you know, prepared for busy all the time, and that costs dollars. So, yeah, that place isn't making money at the moment. I mean, it's paying the bills or whatever and going through the motions, and everyone there is getting a paycheck. And but it's going to be a part of our revitalization of what we do in the spring with the restaurants here.
Yeah.
If we're hanging on to it, then we're going to go at it hardcore as we can and be strategic. And if we let it go, then it's only going to make what we do around here better. So.
Rich McSheffrey and Mike Allen from the Cornerstone restaurant with us on Aired Out right now, if you're just joining us. Mike, now that you are in your 20s, there's a world of difference in the coloring between your beard and Rich's.
What a dick.
In all fairness, I'm in my late 20s.
Okay, I'm late 20s, so still in your 20s.
Yep.
But
he's going to be 40.
What is this guy thinking now, becoming a new father? I mean, my God, what? Really?
What? Yeah, I don't know. That's wow. I was not expecting a hard ball like that or curveball.
But
he,
I mean, look at this old boy here.
Mike needed a niece that was local.
Yes.
His nieces live in Boston. They're beautiful, but, you know, we don't get to see them as much. So.
And a little girl. So now we're going to get the softer side of Rich McSheffrey.
I was sitting there last night holding my beautiful Hattie Ryan, my little beautiful girl, and at the same time getting FaceTimes from my son who's graduating college is down in Florida on spring break doing shots, and I'm like, this is great. He's 22, so I'm worried about him being down there, and I'm worried about moving, and I'm worried about whatever, but hey, when you stop worrying.
And then throw in, hey, we've got a new baby. We got the restaurant. Let's move.
Yeah.
You know, the
what's
baby
that all
thing,
about?
this is a good one because it should be explained because it was kind of it was not in the cards. Like when my wife and I, which is Mike's sister, as a matter of fact.
Shout out, Rebecca.
Yeah, when we first got together and prior to, I think we got married about 6 or 7 years after we got together, we weren't going to have kids because I wasn't going to have kids. And then it really just became like her and I are best friends.
Right.
She's young. I will give anyone anything. Why would I not give her the one thing that is going to be the most important thing in her life long after I'm gone?
True.
So it really came down to that. We have an awesome relationship. We don't fight. We don't argue. We help each other out. She works hard. She's a great teacher, Barre City, and she's grown a lot, and we've grown a lot, and we're just trying to progress slowly up the.
But this is your first little girl, right?
Oh yeah, and she's awesome, and she melts my heart. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't
know what you're gonna do either when you get your toenails painted and your fingernails painted.
I don't care about that kind of shit.
You're gonna be wearing a tutu, dancing in your living room.
I don't care. Good. It doesn't bother. It doesn't bother me.
He's Mike, a hell of a dancer too.
Get pictures, Mike. Please get pictures, Mike.
I'll share them with you. I don't care.
This is coming, brother.
She's gonna have.
Buckle
She's going to
up.
have the absolute best life that I'm able to and we're able to, my wife and I, provide for her. Plain and simple.
Wow.
So rock out. I hope I'm around for a bunch of it, you know?
And what's her name?
Hattie Ryan.
I love
So
it.
we have my grandmother and actually Mike's great-grandmothers were both Harriet. and they went by Hattie. So it's kind of tribute to them. And Ryan isn't for anything except for Nolan Ryan. No, but there was no significance to Ryan. It just we thought it sounded cool.
Will you be able to, as an old man, fight off the boys? Though I mean, you'll be calling Mike. I'm sure, in his upper 20s
I have
now.
plenty experience I can pull out of the trunk for all that jazz. I'm not worried about that.
But yes, I am extremely tough. If he needs a hand.
Yeah, Mike's not scared. And remember, she has a 22-year-old brother. My son.
Thank you. I forgot about that.
And he's
Well,
only
don't
like,
forget
what,
about
6'4"?
him. In case he's listening, don't forget about him.
Yes.
I'm sure him and all his college buddies are at the beach right now listening to us.
I'm sure they
Absolutely,
are.
yeah.
They're just like getting ready for bed.
Of course.
Yeah.
So you have not. You've had a strong presence on social media with videos and using that as an effective means of marketing over the last couple of years. But you've been quiet through COVID. Is Rich McSheffrey coming out of the den now?
I don't know. I think this is a start. It's a priority, not a priority swing. It was just like, Mom always said, if you don't have anything nice to say. And I think that I think that I'm starting to feel a lot more positive about everything. I was really in the how to save us zone more than I was, wanting to climb trees and have Mike dressed in a squirrel suit to promote a half price special, which we can barely afford to still do, even though we do. Like, I don't know. I just needed I needed a timeout. I didn't have that drive to want to, I wasn't in a funny mood. I was in a really focused, let's get to the other side of this, and then we can screw off.
You've also been very quiet about politics. You're kind of known for being quiet about politics, but at the same time, very supportive of Tom Lauzon.
I just like the name. I think that's like a cool
Tom
name.
Lauzon?
Lauzon. And it could be Tom, it could be Thom.
It could be Thom.
It could be.
Or Tomas.
Or
It's a
Tomas.
razor sharp name.
I think it's just
It
the
is.
name. Like when you, I don't know, when you like a race car driver or something for their name.
Yeah.
No, in all honesty, like Paul, I don't. I'm a help what's going on in your backyard kind of guy. The national politics are a shit show. I've never gotten involved with those. They every week I look at my check and I say, oh, good, they're taking out this much, and I have no one to cry to about it. And I really think the focus, starts inside of your home by being good parents and taking care of your kids and raising them right. And then you get outside the door and you get in the community and you make sure that things are as safe and as good as they can. Tom is, just to paraphrase, I could talk for a while about this, but I won't. I look at it as he's more of an uncle that I don't hang out with, if that makes sense. Like Tom and I don't spend any personal time together.
Right.
But he's never wavered ever once from doing the right thing in my eyes, whether that be, being involved in every charity, whether that be driving around this town and seeing things that were literally turning to shit, that he took people like Trim Schweenart and local tradesmen and put money in their pockets and provided them with a steady job by fixing up buildings and making them better. Sometimes he donates them. Sometimes he rents them. I pay a good amount of rent at Cornerstone. But that was also based on the fact that, Keith and I were probably going to open up something more like the size of this place and have, very simplistic food in a bar, but once we saw the Cornerstone and I walked in there for the first time, I just envisioned it exactly how it is, from the design to people in it to how things will flow. That's kind of my forte. And Tom and Karen just were like, what's your vision? We need a place like this. We like what you're saying. How can we help build it? And they literally built something that would have been 8 times what we could have.
Of course.
And are we paying for it now? Yeah. Essentially rent wise, but it's all relative because we're doing business, Sure. Like we were able to create something really cool. And it was at a time when Barre needed it. And I walk up and down the street now, and there's a lot of places that are open that weren't open when we were open, and all ships raise all tides raise all ships. And I think, Barre's becoming and has been slowly becoming a place to do business. And Tom Lozon has a ton to do with that. And he came to me COVID and said, don't worry, like, I'll give you X amount of months of rent. We'll do whatever I need to do to help you get through this.
Right.
And even though I knew I had that in my pocket, my goal is to never have to use that. And I didn't.
Sure.
And I think that made him pretty proud, because it would have been an easy, sure, I'll take that. So we have a mutual respect for each other in that sense. But I can go back to flower boxes. Like, I picture a pub and, we've got 26 windows there. Like, it's a $10,000 thing probably to put these on. And I was just like, it would really brighten up the city, and it would really blah, blah, blah. And Tom's like, consider it done. And he's always been like that. No matter what I've called that guy for, I have an accounting office. He's not my accountant. He's a great accountant, but he's not my accountant. I look at the city right now and knowing that I'm moving back to Barre town, which is I hate saying the word town when I say Barre, but
Tomorrow.
It's a subject for a different time on that. But Tom has done more for Barre. It's unarguable than anyone else. And now, when you're talking about politics, you're talking about being able to have somebody that was the mayor of this city and brought it forward and developed half of it.
For what?
On his own.
A long time.
For a long time. And now he just wants to run for city council. This isn't about Tom having an edge on whatever. It's having somebody that has extensive knowledge of the city coming in at a time where you've got a new police chief, a new city manager, a new mayor.
We're going to have a new mayor, yeah.
I'm not going to get into the mayor conversation because I don't know enough about it, but I know that they're both young. I know that they're both inexperienced when it comes to that, and there's a lot riding on what happens in the decisions making. So I think it would be an extremely upsetting and hurtful thing for the city of Barre if Tom Lozon doesn't get that seat. And that's nothing against Sue Higbee. I don't know Sue Higbee. I know she has the arts place. I know she's involved in the community. I know she cares. I know she's probably a nice lady. I don't know. All I know is that with everything going on right now, you need somebody that knows. You need somebody that, he's been the mayor. He's just sitting on city council. I'm actually sad for Sue Higbee that she has to run against him. If I was in the same position and running against him, I'd probably gracefully bow out. Because if you really care about something and you really care and you're passionate about this city, then you got to know that Tom Lozon's the guy. You know what I mean? There's just no argument. It's like Wayne Gretzky wanting to coach the hockey team. Yeah. Like, you're going to not give him a nod? I really hope it's going to be very, very disappointing. And again, this is not a knock on Sue, because I really don't know her. I would never say a negative thing because I don't know her at all. I know him, and this is personal for me. And if I can come on here and have 5, and he gets 5 votes from it, then my job's done. I just really think it's a very important time. This isn't a normal year with the funding that's coming down that's going to be needed to sort out. And he needs these whichever mayor ends up there that's new needs to have somebody that has a clue what they're doing and has done it before to help mentor them. This is simple. It's simple math. It's simple math.
Yeah.
So there. I'm sorry I got fired up, but
Mike,
he's a really good man.
And Mike, you do have a pet on you, so anytime you need to stab Rich, just do it.
Yeah.
Do I?
Yeah, just right in the leg.
I don't stab Rich.
If you need,
hardly ever.
If you need to get a word in.
He's a good boy. We're brothers.
The Everyone Eats program. What can either of you say about that?
Great.
I'm going to let Rich take this one for once.
For once.
Yeah, Mike, pipe down, bud.
Let
him get a word in, would you?
I would say because of the fact of some of the grants that didn't come through and the funding that didn't come through, the Everyone Eats program, I would have to say single-handedly saved our business. And we were well prepared. Like we weren't month-to-month people. We saved well. We planned well. We were busy enough, but I watched it all go away really fast. And when we were approached to do that, it was a program that was designed by, funded by the state of Vermont that actually worked. It you have to use a percentage of your what you buy for food from local farmers. So they're getting help. You're getting paid for each one of the meal, so you're getting helped. And then you're providing hundreds and thousands. I mean, I've done 40,000 meals on our own until recently. I've had some help, but for the first 62 weeks, I did them all by myself. And the reason for that wasn't an ego thing. It was more a math game. It was like, if I do this by myself for a year, 1 year, I'll be able to pay for X, Y, and Z, not have to lay off employees, be able to cover the cost of some stuff. And it became like my gym. It was my exercise. So for 2 or 3 days a week, that was what I did. I went in and put my head down and cooked and cleaned and mopped floors and, went back to old school, and it's paid off. And I've watched, we deliver the meals. Mike helps out with that each week, and these people are so happy to get them. As a matter of fact, we had a, man, why can't I ever think of that? What are they called? The people that come to your house after you give birth that teach you to breastfeed. Talk to me. Lactation consultant. Thank you.
You didn't know that?
She showed up. I was drawing a blank.
Okay.
Mike knew that.
Well, it'd be a lot easier if I was just sitting there not saying anything, just thinking of what to say.
I'm very careful the way I think about things.
I guess. So anyway, we had a lactation consultant show up to our house the day, I think, after we got out of the hospital. Mm-hmm. And she says, I've got this meal for you guys. And it was from Cornerstone. I had made it the day before. So we're like, we'll take a hard pass on that, but thank you. Yeah, so it's like going out to that, but it's also going out to homeless. It's also going to shelters. It's also going to Good Samaritan. It's also going to Capstone. We deliver all over. I deliver out to Worcester, to a little place out there that provides meals to the people in need out there. It's everywhere. So an awesome program. I'm sure it's going to come to an end. I don't think that's going to solve the fact that people still need it, and hopefully it'll, they've extended it a few times, and hopefully they continue to, because it's really good for everyone.
Mike Allen is the GM and brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Do you guys get into any scuffles
On the golf course, we're usually teammates, and
how's that work out for you, Mike?
well, usually good. He's a lefty, so we complement each other really well.
Okay. Do fists get flying ever? Words? Anything?
He did actually one time at his house.
You're a little hot.
I leaned down to pick up a golf ball, and he hit a pitching wedge, and it hit me straight in the side of my head, and I fell to my knees.
Right in his temple.
Yeah. And when I looked up, he was as scared as I've ever seen him. He was white as a ghost. Kind of like
you
when
could
I went
have
up
inherited the
Well,
whole restaurant. Right
when
there.
you say scared, I was scared for Rich, not of him. If we're being clear.
Let's be clear.
I mean, if you were to put a lie detector test up here right now, which I think you should, he is definitely scared of me.
Really?
Well,
a little
God,
bigger.
the day that I went up there,
He's
were talking
borderline elderly, so I don't,
I've seen him fight. Yeah, no, I take care of him like a little brother, you know what I mean? But if I have to give him a noogie or, whatever.
Well, do you guys fight about business at all? Do you get into the,
He wouldn't dare.
Well,
is he putting any pressure on you? Is he calling you at 11 o'clock at night? Why aren't those reports done?
if this was a couch, I'd be laying on it and spilling a little bit more, but no. He's pretty cool. He lets me do my thing, even if that thing's nothing.
Yeah?
What
What about inflation? Is there any concerns in
God,
there?
no. That's
I mean,
fine.
like balloons?
Yeah, big balloons.
Yeah,
what
no,
is it,
that's
7% now, man. It's the highest in 40-something years.
I mean, 7%
going up
across the board for the world, but it's more than that when you're talking about groceries,
right? In the supply chain. I mean, is this a factor? Is this something you guys worry about?
It's been a nightmare. I mean,
I think a chicken wing costs us $1 these days or something like
it's
that.
never. I've never had to go to the grocery store so much to fill in, and you're talking about some of the biggest purveyors in the world and that can't get their hands on stuff, and it's like you're trying to please a customer who's you can't bring in a 6-ounce filet because that's all they have when you sell an 8, and we haven't cut any corners. We were last around to raise prices, which that doesn't make us smart by any means, but you've got a ceiling in the city, and we found it. You know, like we found it in the first few years. We came out of the gates a little fancy, seemingly a little pretentious, because of the decor and how nice the building was.
Yeah.
And you felt like you needed to be dressed up to go in there, and we combated that with burger night, doing half price burgers.
Tuesdays.
And it was like, on Tuesdays, and then
less than half price.
we took Tuesday from, you know, the slowest night of the week to one of the busiest, and what happened was, that was the coolest for me, is now I was seeing people in there with t-shirts and tank tops, and you know what I mean, because they're like, I'll go in there, I can't refuse a $5 burger, like it's not possible. So then they came back, or they came in for Tuesday night, and then you would now see those people who wouldn't have gone in there before because they thought it was too expensive or pretentious, realizing that it wasn't. So now they're dressed in their Friday best, going there before an opera show once a month.
Right.
Or taking their family out there because that's their treat for the month. So it really, you know, helped our business. It's all strategy. It's none of it's smoke and mirrors, because we genuinely care. My staff is, I mean, they're it. Without them, Cornerstone's nothing. And we have a really, really high, long retention rate with our people. We don't micromanage. We don't shit on anyone. We talk when we need to talk. We try to fix things. They all know the vision is what it is, and they adhere to that, and they all, because of it, you know, make a good living and have a nice job. But they've been there a long time, and they're, you know, they're not all stars, and we have the mix. We have everyone from black, white to transitioning to already transitioned to whatever you could possibly imagine for employees across the board, and none of it matters. It's a family. They go in, they do what they need to do, and they go home. Right,
and they make you successful.
They make me successful. Yeah, I mean, and
we crack some skulls along the way.
Yeah, when we have to.
Does Mike ever? Does he ever bust tables at all, or?
I mean, probably not.
That's basically my job. I say glorified busboy, but it's not. I'm not even glorified. So, you know.
I think that most of the time, like when he does it, like the waitresses will try to push him out of the way because he's not like super fast.
Well,
yeah.
He can pour drinks, but that's
fast.
Just automatic at this point. Like if you were to go there tomorrow and rearrange 2 bottles, like he would even know what to do.
I'd be like, why?
9 years of the exact same thing in the exact same place.
Who rubbed the dust off this?
I've been begging him, JD, to get off the bar. Begging him, dude.
Does he make a good drink?
Yeah, he's the best around. And look at that smile.
Cut it out.
What about this governor's task force? What's the name of it? How did you get on this? What happened? Who called you? How did this whole thing?
That was a good segue.
Take flight.
I don't know if I'm.
Oh, we're coming back.
I think I'm allowed to.
Don't worry, Mike.
I think I'm allowed to. Here's the story I heard, whether it was true or not. I heard that once COVID happened and they started sitting down in Montpelier to say, who are we going to call on to do what, that my name was slid across the desk from Phil to somebody at that table. I won't say her name. And it said Rich McSheffrey on it when they started talking about restaurants, which was very flattering. So anyway, I got on his initial task force, but then that took off into the whole other leg. And I ended up resigning from it as we started getting closer to opening, because I just didn't have the time, and I felt like I wasn't helping anything. A lot of the meetings weren't things that I had a lot of knowledge in and a lot of input. So I was kind of just going through the motions. So I respectfully removed myself from it, and that allowed them to bring in somebody that, that it made more sense to be there. The restaurant we did a lot of work, like for free. A lot of time we spent with that group on the phone on Sunday, Zoom meetings, just with that restaurant group, and a lot of really good things came out of it. But I also found that, a lot of stuff, like we literally wrote the verbiage of how we were going to get through this as an industry in Vermont. And I had some really smart people in my corner, but also once that stuff went up to the desk, a lot of stuff got changed.
Sure.
And then you had to start thinking, man, I'm associated with this. Like my name is on this.
Yeah.
And what if this screws somebody, because this isn't the way they want to do business, or they don't want to have masks and they want to fight against whatever the case may be. Like it was a very tightrope to walk with whether or not you wanted to be known as the guy that helped put together the team that put together the stuff that made everything great.
Sure.
Or if everything went to shit and you know
Right.
they're rewriting what you wrote and you didn't really have a say about that.
And your name's
So I just
attached
felt
to
like it was
Yeah.
it was best to step down. I had bigger fish to fry at the time. I needed to get our places back open and make sure, you know, everybody was happy and healthy on our end. And so
What plans do we have for summertime, which is tomorrow? It's coming fast.
Yeah.
What can we expect? You going to be out with the food truck? What's going
yeah,
on?
food trucks. I mean, I'm getting tons of catering requests. We're really trying to make our catering a little bit more streamlined, where we're only doing certain things and we're not just all over the map. Currently, you could call me and say I want, you know, lobster and fillet, or you can call me and say I want tater tots, and it's a lot of back and forth with people. You know, you get a request that says looking for a catering July 2nd. It's like, okay. Good start. Where's it going to be? How many people? What time? So now you've got an email chain of 30 emails going back with one person, and it's just a lot of time and effort. So we're going to work on streamlining that. Our menu is going to change at Barre, getting back to more of a full menu once we feel like it's safe to do so. We downsize. I mean, we're dealing with 90% perishable foods.
Yeah.
We have the
And a
smallest
supply
freezer
chain.
in town. Like,
Yeah.
we don't have a freezer or bring in stuff frozen except for a couple of things. So in order to do that, you're either throwing it in the trash or selling it. Like, there's not a lot of in between there. So,
Or I'll eat it.
or Mike will eat it. But
Yeah.
bringing the menu back to being a little bit more well-rounded, knowing that, people with food allergies and gluten and, all these big things. Our thing has always been be a part of the trends.
Right.
Like, we don't look to have 90 burgers on the menu. We look to have the best burger. We don't look to have 50 mac and cheeses. We want to have the best of each thing that we can do within what we do. Within what we do, we're not somebody that buys everything local, because in a place that's doing that kind of volume, it's not sustainable. It's not possible. Like, I can't call the farm next door and say I need 300 chicken breasts for this week.
Sure.
It's
Right.
it's cute, and I love the idea of it. And I've worked a lot with local farmers, but we have our local burger, and we don't do as much as we can, and we'll do more of it for specials and stuff. But we've got to get back to having a consistent amount of volume. We used to be able to say down to a few dollars what we do for a week. It was very consistent.
Sure.
Which in turn, allows you to lay out your labor and everything specifically based on the numbers. But it hasn't been like that. It's just so up and down that you don't know what you're doing. So we kept everything nimble. So we're going to expand that. The food truck will be running. We'll be in the park on Thursdays. We have a couple ideas of another couple places to park it throughout the week. Just doing fun stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, serious question here. What the hell would you do without Mike designing all of these amazing new drinks that we have on the menu over at the Cornerstone? If it wasn't for this guy, probably wouldn't have those drinks. I mean, they're amazing. We got the ginger one in there. I mean,
We do.
he'd be in a lot of trouble without you, Mike.
Mike has been a very, very,
Understatement.
in all seriousness, Mike's been a very important part of my life, both personally and professionally. And the quick answer to that is, if we didn't have Mike, then we probably would have had all those drinks months ago. You know what I mean? Or years ago.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you have to understand what you're dealing with. And I know that he's a little slow, and I know that he's not very motivated. And I just try to,
Mike, you just took a hit, bud.
I don't know.
Just
I just try to
ouch.
I try to take care of him like anyone with their little brother. You know what I mean? Now he's
showing signs of dementia.
he's
It's not good.
he doesn't the thing that pisses me off about him is that he doesn't know how good he is.
Yeah.
He's one of the smartest guys I've ever known. Well, most of the time, but no, he's got a lot of potential that he doesn't even know about. I've been trying to unleash it, and hopefully we do before I have to let him go. But
Well, so we were busy the other night, and I always remember not wanting to do the non-alcoholic cocktails because, sometimes I just don't feel like working that hard.
it's like the blender's broken.
Yeah.
Sure.
And we were busy, and I was getting some of those drinks on top of regular ones, and I was pissed.
Yeah.
And probably messing up and putting booze in it. So if your child came home with a little glow on from
Hey.
the Cornerstone, it's Mike's bad. That's Mike at cornerstonepk.com for
Mike,
any problems.
is it difficult for you to make
Nothing
a drink
is.
like is Is it difficult for you to make a drink like this and not put alcohol in it? That's got to be hard for you, bud.
So, no, it's actually easy.
Yeah.
But I feel like the, like it's the garnish is a little bit more important with that because it's got to look really pretty when you're spending $6 for a juice.
Sure.
But no, it's easy. It's inspiring.
You had to tap into an artistic side of your brain to be able to concoct these amazing concoctions.
Sure.
I mean, was it color-based flavor? I mean, where was this coming from in your soul?
Deep within, I'd say. Both sides of my brain, because
both at the same time.
Yep. There's
same
math
time?
involved.
Okay.
And art.
Yeah, and art.
And
It's
science.
True. It's true. Will these drinks be on the Cornerstone menu through the summer, or are we?
Well, I mean, quite honestly, knowing Mike, they'll be on there for the next 3 years.
Okay.
Exactly the same.
Will this be your decision or Mike's decision?
I don't really get involved with what he makes for decisions when it comes to the bar.
Just let him go.
Unless he gets out of control, and then I'll just give him a little hug and say, hey, listen,
Yeah.
I'm always this close to being out of control.
Yeah.
I live right on the edge.
Yeah, he's pretty difficult.
Just pipe down.
I know how to scare him, and I know how to. Yeah, well, we're all right.
It's such a great restaurant. The mood in there, the atmosphere, the food. I mean, it's a great place
Music,
for.
should we say? It's a pretty good choice of music.
What's
usually
going on with music? Yeah, talk to me about that.
We've never. He's talking about overhead music because he's also the DJ Mike.
Yep.
Okay.
Which is to me like the same shit over and over. As like.
And I choose what channels the televisions are on.
Yeah.
There's a list.
Will there be like any kind of performing or any kind of open mic night or something?
We try to do like a few a year. Our chili competition that we were doing so well before COVID, and like special events. We've never wanted to really try to hit the late night scene. There's a couple places around here that I wouldn't want to take anything away from them because it's not our game, and
Sure.
our most of our employees are older, adults, and like have families to go home to and stuff. So
Lori Bailey's a grandmother.
Yeah.
a great grandmother.
Oh, she's so great.
Yeah. Anyway, we
must
flirted
be,
with it, but it's like it's not our scene really. We do it for special occasions, and it's cool when we do it, but it's not something that I think that would really take off. Our clientele's kind of built for being in bed at 9 o'clock.
It's got to be difficult for Mike to select the music that's not Neil Diamond and not ABBA, two of his favorites. It's got to be challenging for you, buddy.
No, it is. I take challenges head on, and I like ABBA. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
When are you coming back? I just
Coming back from what?
coming back here on the air.
I don't know, dude.
Or
What did we take? Like
maybe
2
Raylene,
years?
maybe Raylene and I can run over there and go behind the scenes over at Cornerstone and see
You
what.
guys can do whatever you want, man.
Do we actually own these microphones now?
We might put a little plaque on the bottom of it after today's show.
Like underneath?
Yeah, so no one can see it.
I'd want it to be seen.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
He's all about being seen. Yeah.
You guys have been wonderful, man. I mean, it's you look at your real estate. You're right there on the corner in literally the center of the Granite City.
Boardwalk and Park Place, baby.
Ooh, yeah, baby. It's you're all over Facebook. You're going to be more on Facebook now. If Mike's doing your photography and your social media, he's doing an exceptional job.
I don't know.
Consider keeping him on.
I have
more weeks.
spoken to Shannon Alexander in the past, and I do want to get her to come in and do our
That's fight and talk, Mike.
yeah, get her to come in and do our some new photos because ours are a little ghetto, but
That was before we had our 13s.
ours are like picture like how cool like the Denny's menu was with like the moons over Miami and stuff like that. The pictures back in the day, but like it's the same shit now. Like
Wow.
100 years later. So yeah, we need a facelift,
Okay.
and we're gonna do it. It's going to be a good spring, and we're gonna rock out, and looking forward to the baseball field opening and seeing kids out there for the first time. And
can you get back in here when that takes flight?
Of course I can.
So please, because
we're right up the street.
We want to hit that.
I'm sorry it's been so long. I know we've touched base a ton, and
we've been chatting for a long time.
And Raylene too has been great, and I don't know.
Well, thank you guys for coming in here.
Thanks for having us
so much.
Appreciate it,
Mike. Especially, thank you.
It?
Thank you.
My pleasure.
He sounds. Doesn't he sound like a rocker? Doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like if I was on the phone with him and he was like, "I just got back from tour. We toured all across Asia and Europe." I would believe him. He sounds like a rocker. Right
Oh my God!
now.
I was just talking about her, and here she comes.
I'm very well traveled. If that's yes.
Who were you talking to?
Shannon Alexander. Like 3 seconds ago, I see her outside.
She's everywhere, dude.
She's everywhere.
Everywhere.
I didn't even use my radio voice today.
Oh, boy.
Come on.
Oh boy.
Got it out.
JD, thanks so much. Raylene, thank you so much. Mike Allen, thanks so much.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
We think on the web at Cornerstone PK.
That's Pub and Kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mike, because I was wondering about that. .com. Can we still call in order to go?
Of course you can.
And always email at info@cornerstonepk.com. Or social media is a great way to get in touch with you, two buffoons.
People find us.
Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.